What in the world? It's a food explosion. Hey man, I'll be the first to admit, it don't look like much. It really don't. But man, is it good. Hey guys, let me start off by wishing everybody a happy 4th of July. Obviously, it won't be the 4th of July when you watch this, but it is the 4th of July today while I record this. So happy 4th of July, happy Independence Day. Hopefully you guys are getting outdoors and doing some exploring or some hiking or just enjoying being outside and soaking up the sunshine wherever you're at on this 4th of July. As you can see, I am actually inside. I am hanging out in the RV today. And the reason I am inside and not outside is because I am preparing for a 4-day trek on the PCT that starts in the morning. So as I prepare for this backpacking trip along the PCT, I thought, man, this would be a great opportunity to delve into a little issue that I've been asked about several times while I've been on the trail. And so let's jump right into it. And what I'm talking about is food, backpacking food. There's a number of ways that you can go about getting your backpacking food. The easiest and the most costly, I might add, is to purchase the pre-made meals, Backpacker's Pantry. There's several others out there. Walmart sells a brand. Mountain House is another one. There's a multitude of people out there that make pre-made meals that I've had most of them, and several are really good. A few I probably wouldn't have again, but the downside to those is the cost. Those are about $8 a meal, and if you backpack a lot, that adds it up pretty quick, and you're talking about just one meal there. So over the years, I've kind of honed my food kit and my backpack cooking kit to easy, lightweight, cheap food that can sustain me while I'm on the trail. And let's just go ahead and get right into it, and I'll show you what we're working with. So when I'm planning a trip, a lot of times I'll do something like this. I try to make sure that I don't forget anything. I break things down by day. So I've got my day 1 food, my day 2 food, my day 3 food, and then when I wake up. Everything from this point over will go into the bear bag, which will get stored away in my backpack, and I'll pull it out as I need it. Day 1 snacks go right into the backpack. I don't even bother sticking them in the bag. And obviously day 1 breakfast I'll eat before I take off out of here. So let's take a look at what we got here. For a typical breakfast for me, I like oatmeal. Nothing fancy, just the plain old Quaker or Great Value oatmeal. Yep, nothing fancy, and I tend to be kind of an apples and cinnamon guy. So what we have here is the oats to get me going throughout the day, get me off to a quick start. And then I also like a little sugar to get my day kick started, so I try to couple that with a Pop-Tart. And I know that looks like a lot of calories, but when you're hiking big miles, 15-20 miles a day, that for a breakfast is pretty good. And then the other thing I'll have is my coffee, which my coffee consists of a breakfast essentials packet. And then I just use I buy the big can of the Folgers Instant. It just saves a little money. And then I just scoop it out into a baggie. As you can see, baggies are literally my best friend. The quart size freezer bags. Those really, without those, I wouldn't be able to make the meals the way I make them. All right, now that we've covered what gets me started and gets me out of camp in the morning, we'll talk about what I eat throughout the day. Usually I try to hit the trail fairly early. I'm usually hiking by 7 o'clock or so, and by 9:30, 10 o'clock, I start getting some grumblings in my stomach. And I really like a variety. And it's funny, I pack a ton of stuff. I don't like a heavy meal for lunch, so I tend to just kind of graze throughout the day as I'm going along. And I find that really works the best for me. When I tried to eat a heavy meal when I first got into backpacking, I would stop and make some spaghetti or whatever. And I found that with a full belly, man, I just did not want to get up and take off hiking again. Doing the snack route like this, I get plenty of variety, and I never really get that full feeling. And a lot of these you know, I won't even stop to eat. I'll just pull it out of the pack and eat while I'm walking. But what we got here is, I like a little bit of jerky along with the dipping sticks and cheese. Can't go wrong there. This is something new that I've been trying recently. The tuna with the rice and the beans and the hot sauce. It's delicious. It's a little pricey, but 110 calories, 7 grams of protein. You know, you get your omega-3s and your fish oils and all that. So, yeah. Cliff Bar, you know, that's just kind of a staple for me for backpacking. And then I like some crackers. Just give me a little extra sodium while I'm hiking. Sometimes your hands or your feet will get to swelling just because you've sweat out most of your sodium. So I like to replenish with, you know, peanut butter and a cheese. And then, of course, the other staple of all my trips, I just get the, like from Walmart or whatever, the mountain variety trail mix. And then I split it up, you know, into, I get the big bag so it saves a little money, and split it up and then, you know, use it as needed. So that pretty much gets me through the day. So it's been a long day on the trail. We've racked up 15-20 miles. We roll into camp. Even after eating all of this food during the day, believe it or not, I'm starving. So now we get into my favorite meal of the day, supper. And I really do like a little bit of variety with supper. None of these meals cost hardly anything at all to put together, and they're super yummy, and there's so many varieties and flavors out there you can mix and match, and just the options. When I discovered this, man, my whole backpacking like palette just changed completely. There's so many varieties and options. So, of course, we'll start with the old staple. What we have here is what I call a Ramen Bomb. It is just, you know, you buy like 12 packages of ramen for $1.50 at the store. Yeah, it's one package of ramen thrown in a bag, and then I mix in instant mashed potatoes, flavor of your choice. This just happens to be the roasted garlic. One of these packets, as long as you check the back and look at it, it says measure out 2 cups of boiling water and drop it in. Then one packet will make 2 meals. So what I'll do is, the first thing when I'm getting ready to make one of these meals up, I'll grab my favorite freezer baggies, pull 2 of them out, and I'll pick a flavor of mashed potatoes, and I'll split it half and half. So half in here, half in here. Once I've got my mashed potatoes in, then I add whatever pasta or rice is going to go with it. In this case, this is just the standard ramen, like I said. And if you look in there, I kind of sauced it up a little bit. Sometimes you can score on some of these dehydrated fruits and vegetables, beans, corn, carrots, potatoes. I've even seen like meat and stuff that you can mix in here, and just kind of, you know, adds to it, sauces it up a little bit. So we've got instant mashed potatoes, ramen, some veggies mixed in there that are dehydrated, and then when I'm cooking it, right after I add the water and I stir it all up, I'll cut this guy up and I'll drop him in there and seal it all up. And that gives me some good protein, and then I've got plenty of noodles, I've got some veggies, I've got some starches from the potatoes, and all of this mixed together is what I call a ramen bomb. So now I'm out on trail. I have pulled out the meal of my choice. I've boiled water, I've added my meat, I've added my water. Now what? Well, I have this thing, I just affectionately call it a koozie. I actually picked it up from one of those pre-made meal order places, Packet Gourmet. They make some amazing foods. Unfortunately, I can't afford to shop there as much as I would like to. But they give me this koozie with my order, and it's really just, it's lined with that Reflectix stuff that you can get to put like on the windshield of your vehicle when it's a bright sunny day and whatnot. I've seen people make these, and I'm sure with a quick search on YouTube you could find out how to make one of these with not a whole lot of fuss. But so once everything's added in there, the water, it's all mixed up, the meat, I drop it into the koozie, I seal it up, and I set it down, and then I go about my evening camp chores. I try to give it maybe, I don't know, depending on what it is. Ramen tends to moisten up and soften pretty quick. Some of the other products, the Noir pasta sides can take a little longer, the Noir rice sides can take a little longer. But, you know, you'll get a feel for it. And obviously, if you open it up and you go to take a bite and your noodle's still crunchy, just seal it back up and let it sit in the koozie some more. But The Ramen Bomb is just one variety. These are some other varieties that I try to get into, and what I'm at is I get these Noir pasta sides. This one's just a Parmesan, which will go real nice with like a buttery mashed potato and some type of a Star-Kissed chicken packet. Have some backwoods chicken and noodles. And occasionally I'll get into the rices. I do like the taco rice. You can mix that up with a like a spicy, they make a spicy tuna, and then you can get kind of a spicier, a zestier potato to mix in with that, and that's real good too. So, but here we've just got a couple of different ones. Honestly, I'm not even sure what this variety is, but herb and garlic goes great with everything. And then we've got a hickory smoke to go here. These things you can pick up for not a whole lot of money, and obviously the Spam singles, they're super cheap too. And then, you know, I cap it off. I like something other than water at the end of the day, so I'll have me a little bit of raspberry green tea. Just dump it into my little Nalgene cup that I carry with me all day anyway, and that is what I subsist on while I am backpacking. So hopefully this video will save you a little bit of money and give you some ideas. Like I said, the varieties of these things and the varieties of the instant potatoes, there are so many flavors available to pick from. Those, and then you get into all the different flavors of these. Plus now they've got chicken creations and they've got salmon creations. I mean, you can really go wild and really have some fantastic meals in the backcountry for not a lot of money. One other thing I will add, if you're going to make meals like this and you're going to pour boiling water into them like I do, make sure you get the freezer baggies, not the storage baggies. Get the freezer baggies. I have only had a few occasions where maybe a noodle pierced and let a little bit of water out, but again, it's in here, so it's not a huge deal. And lastly, the best thing about these meals like this, it's the end of the day, you've got trash from all this stuff in your pockets, right? Now you need some way to consolidate all your trash. Now you have an empty baggie, consolidate all your trash in it, and yeah, and there's no cleanup, you know? All you gotta do is clean your spoon off, which I pretty much just lick off with my tongue, and that's that. So again, hopefully this will save you a little bit of money, spice up your menu in the backcountry, and you know, give you some good ideas and help you out. So there you have it, my backcountry cooking forays, if you will. The meals that I subsist on and enjoy while I'm in the backcountry, and I enjoy almost every one of them. Very rarely have I made a combination that I was like, blah, I don't want to make that again. They're all pretty delicious. Of course, you know, when you walk 20 miles in a day, you could probably eat your shoe and it would taste pretty delicious. Well, hopefully this video helps you out in your backcountry meal planning. And if you gained anything from this, if you learned anything, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and drop them in the comment box down below. And we will see you next time. Oh my gosh, check this out. Does that not look friggin' amazing? Mashed potatoes, ramen noodles, chunks of Spam. And, you know, not to mention the fact it's a pretty doggone good hand warmer.